My name is Adrian Sassoon, and I'm a dealer in contemporary ceramics and glass and objects made of other very traditional materials. Well, we're sort of having an exhibition with all new works, but without visitors because it's 2021. And we're documenting it, we're filming it, photographing it. And I thought, let's do it in an old house. So I just thought Parham early on. James and Emma, who live here, are friends. The place is dreamlike. This house is old, it's 16th century, beautifully restored in the 1920s to make sure it really kept its 16th century character. But the heating works and things like that in this house. The house has its furniture and its paintings where they are. We're just sliding objects in, on, around them. We're not reorganizing any of the layout of the rooms. So the house has allowed it, and the house is incredibly welcoming. The house is made of wood and stone and glass, and there's objects of silver and metalwork and ceramics all around. Some of the techniques are the same from ancient times through to the present day. Often they're based on historic techniques, but what we want with our contemporary artists is new ideas, new visual vocabularies, new spontaneous and personal originality. So whilst the objects are very new and made by a different generation, they are made of very traditional materials, so that eases them into place very, very naturally. And that's the most important thing about historic creativity, is it's the springboard for contemporary creativity. The placing helps. Sometimes they just sing juxtapositions of materials, the way the light is falling, scale. The objects should be in the house as if they're sculptures around a room. They shouldn't look like targets in a coconut shy. I'm not very keen on things just lined up on some very bland plinths that just literally look like specimens. This is part of life. Things should just settle in. And in an older house, whether it's 1, 2 or 3 more centuries old, why shouldn't there be things of different generations settling in? Nature's very important. The objects are natural materials. And many of our artists are hugely influenced by what they see growing and the quirks of what you expect to grow, growing in unusual ways, because that's what happens, for instance, in a kiln. That's what happens when you're blowing glass. Things are changing under heat, just as things change in the center of the earth. Walking into a room and seeing a just stunning pair of Kate Malone's vases, seeing these amazing drips of glaze, and these are the sorts of things that Kate wants to create, has instigated in the way she's shaped the object, but actually it's only what can happen by chance in the kiln. You set everything up to happen as you want, but the result is actually a chance, educated chance firing. This house has this crescendo. There's a large, broad staircase going up one floor, and it's still large and broad going up another floor, and you're at the roof height, and then you get to the long gallery, which is this amazing long space. I'm a firm believer that contemporary objects don't just sort of spring up if they're convincing. They're the product of centuries and centuries and centuries of human creation. Well, I suppose our next type of display is going to have to be in an industrial warehouse, maybe in someone's modern kitchen. No textiles, hard floors, painted white, and we would make these pieces, the same pieces, look really exciting. They are very, very adaptable to the pleasure of the person who wants to introduce them into their home or their lives. It would work.